Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from...
This is God Tiny the Guru again.
Hey everybody, this is Mr. Clean.
An incarcerated individual at New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Welcome to Speaking Through the Barz Podcast, where we bring inspiration to our listeners to gain motivation within themselves. Through our content we prove, and betterment starts where you at now in life. This podcast is intended for the youth. This podcast is intended for anybody who deal with the development and the betterment of the youth. This podcast is intended for anybody who has a message for the youth. This podcast is intended to reach the people that's incarcerated or was informally incarcerated, or people who have family, friends, significant other ones who's incarcerated. When I say incarceration, I just mean, stuck in a box. So anybody who's stuck in some form, way, or fashion, whether, bad job, bad life experience, dealing with, relationships, there's many forms and ways of being stuck in life. And this podcast is intended to, motivate you to get out of that stuckness. This podcast is intended for people who deal with, reducing the recidivism rate, which is, the rate of people coming back to prison. This podcast is intended to, change and change the scape of the criminal justice system and start, one step at a time. This podcast is for people who promote criminal justice. This podcast is for people who advocate for criminal justice, and this podcast is for people who want to learn what criminal justice is. Through the stories that we bring to the listeners, we tend to show people, grew up in a bad environment, no matter, whatever it was that brought them, the kind of trauma that they had, or the things that hurted them in their life and felt like they kind of stagnated them at first. This podcast is intended to bring their stories so they can give our listeners another point of view of how to get over some of the struggles that they go through in life in order to make it where you're trying to make it in life. That's why we bring people from the entertainment industry. We bring people that deal with the criminal justice system. We bring people, that's political. We bring people that, have something to do with the content of this brand to the listeners in order for them to see that no matter who you are, it's possible to make it to where you're trying to go as long as you get over that hump. And sometimes people just need to hear them words of encouragement in order to get there. So hopefully, Speaking Through the Barz can bring them words of encouragement to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we like to welcome you to Speaking Through the Barz Podcast. We appreciate you for tuning in today. Hopefully y'all enjoy our show. We got Soul B here, man, coming through to bless us with his time and his presence in order to give us his upbringing and give us his story of where he at now. We ask that y'all tune in. We ask that y'all follow us on Instagram at IG Speaking Through the Barz. We ask that y'all subscribe to our YouTube at Speaking Through the Barz. And, real soon, it haven't got up yet, but our distribution, which is DistroKid, we put episodes up, on platforms such as Tidal, Spotify, iTunes, and multiple more. We're going to give y'all the list on our Instagram. So, make sure you follow us on Instagram so you can see that. That way you don't be missing out, because we do a lot of good things on our Instagram. Don't miss out on that, man, because you really get to see who we are and, some of our quotes that we think about for the day we post on Instagram, So just bear with us. We're doing our best in the situation we in, bringing something positive to the listeners, something different, and, being creative at the same time. We appreciate y'all, though, because it starts with y'all, and that's the only way we're going to get to where we want to go, is by having the true listeners who want to learn something. Don't miss out on what you can learn, because the people that we bring them for people to learn something or people to hear something in order to motivate them. This is motivation, nothing more, nothing less. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Soul B, man. We thank you for coming through the blessing, Speaking Through the Barz with your presence. Let the people know a little bit about yourself, your name, where you come from.
Well, my name is Soul B, the big homie of the real big homie. If you know another, you better call him a phony. And I represent BQE. That's Brooklyn, Queens exclusively.
That's right. Big homie's definitely on the air today, man. I want to thank Soul B for coming on the show, man. You know what I'm saying? You are definitely my big bro, my comrade, my mentor. You know what I'm saying? I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that you coming and putting up on Speaking to the Bars, man. My name is Planet the Guru. You already know. I have a few questions, man. First and foremost, I want to talk about the positive things you've been doing in the community, man. I know all about the turkeys you gave out. I know about the books and book bags you've been giving out over the years. You know what I'm saying? What inspired you to start doing things for the community like that?
It's because, you know, all my life, I've been kind of productive to the community. You know, taking from the community. You know, whether it was time, whether it was, I don't want to say, you know, lies, but, you know, total destruction. So, you know, as you begin to get older, you know, more conscious, you begin to realize that, you know, when are you going to give back? Or if anything, when is the time going to come where you can say that you was really an influence in your community? Because if you were influencing your community negatively, then it has to be some type of balance. So I just said, when I get the opportunity, I'm not going to try to get sponsorship and nothing. I'm going to do it myself. Use that same influence to start doing positive things in the community. And that's what basically inspired and motivated me to just do it.
That's right. I noticed I got that magazine, that Big Homies of the Real Big Homies on Urban News when you graced that front cover, man.
Yes,
what was that about, man?
Well, that was another thing. You know, I was like on the momentum when I came home. I think that, you know, my story, the way I narrated it, and, you know, just the genuine building process, you know, sparked a new genre on YouTube. You know, and individuals like that, you see the numbers. So, you know, me and the brother Tyson, we just clicked after he did the interview with Billy, who had the cover before me.
Okay.
And, you know, and who's my brother who, matter of fact, I just talked to him about 15 minutes ago. So what I'm going to do, well, it was bad time, because what I was going to do was, after I finished doing what I'm doing, I was going to call him and then link up, but it'd be too late for y'all, you feel me?
Right. All right. Speaking of Bimmy, like, let the listeners know about your affiliation with Bimmy, your affiliation with Big U. We was told that you brought Big U to, you know, Big U came to New York and you had him around Brooklyn. Let's talk about that.
Right, well, you know, Bimmy, you know, that's family there. That's family, you know, clear cut, that's family. And, you know, they just came off of, I think there was a drink show. One of them joints, I forgot the show, so Ben called me. I was uptown dropping one of my bros off to the man's shelter. And he called me, yo, it was COVID, it was hard, nothing was really opening to happen, nothing at all. So he said, yo, you want to go out? So he called me. I pulled up on him at the hotel. And I was like, yo, only thing open in Brooklyn is Underground Street. I fuck with all Underground. So if you're a hood nigga, you gonna love it. Fuck it. They followed me all the way into Brooklyn. So first spot I hit was 95 South, but it was closing at 11. So there's a spot like 2 doors down. When the brothers seen it was me, Big U, Ben, he said, man, we about to close, but we gonna open up. He let us in. We had some drinks, politics. So I called the little homies from out of Brownsville, the little crip homies. I was like, yo, I got you with me, man. We gonna come through. It was an underground spot. All right, cool. This is like text only. So about 2 o'clock, matter of fact, I forgot. We went to our little homie Ho's spot. You know, he got them Tiger Bomb drinks and all of that. So we went over there. You loved the setup. He loved the setup, how it was set up, you know, what he was doing. And it was just a universal love thing. But from there, we went to the underground spot, and everybody broke out the next morning, you know.
That's right.
Plain simple to the point. I didn't take no pictures. You know what? Other people took pictures. I didn't take no pictures because moments like that, you know, I'm a celebrity in my own right. You know, I'm an OG in my own right. And, you know, pictures that capture moments, but I didn't feel to take any pictures. I wasn't in that mindset. You feel me?
That's right. Hey, yo, Mr. Clean, man, go ahead with yours, man. You heard at the big homie, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, yo, So B, man, what's good,
Yeah.
man? Mr. Clean, how you doing today?
Ain't nothing beloved. I'm here. You feel me? I'm here. You know, I support.
Definitely, man. You know, yeah, man. You know, last time, man, you know, we were talking on the phone, and we were talking about, you know, the youth. And, yeah, you were talking about the youth and how you like to show them, you know, more than tell them. And you know, I like that ideology because that's what this platform is, to show people that.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, man. Look,
no
you
matter
know what actions always speak louder than words.
Right. Teach the youth that, yo, you could do it, you know what I'm saying, by showing them. But yeah, back to what the Panda the Guru, he asked you a question, you know, how you and Benny met, and
oh, me and Benny? Oh,
yeah.
Well, you know, my family is from Queens, you feel me? So my family, I have an aunt that lived in Queens for years, like over 40 some odd years. And when I was younger, I used to go to Queens, you feel me?
Yeah.
But I never really established, although I knew guys out in Queens, them one of them, Queens, you know, a lot of the guards, because, you know, I was a part of the Nation of Guards and Earth. And while I was in, I reconnected, you know what I'm saying, with family. And, you know, Ben told me, he said, listen, yo, B, when you come home, matter of fact, he had the magazine at the time called Corner Storm, right? Corner Storm. So he said, yo, B, it was a women's issue coming out, which was one of the best issues he produced. And he was like, yo, B, listen, I need you to write something. So I end up writing, he gave me a column, and I end up writing an article about 3 historical women who basically was in control of, you know, a crime syndicate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which was Madam Stephanie St. Clair, Odessa Madre, and Griselda Blanco. 3 women in the history that basically were in control of men in organized crime. You know, so, and after that, he said, yo, B, when you come home, man, I got you. And from day one I came home, we linked up, and to this day, we've been like, you know, tougher than glue. You feel me?
Right. Yeah, man, I remember we was talking about your book, man, Gifted Pride, man. Tell the listeners, Speaking Through the Bars, about your book.
Oh, well, Gifted Pride, man, is a whole different... It's a whole different vibe, man. It's about gender, you feel me? And, but more so, I dedicated the book to the LGBT community, and I say this, a lot of people might go, oh, what the hell? But no, I had to realize till I got out that how sexual orientation came. We got trisexuals, asexuals, bisexuals, transsexuals. And I mean, it's confusing coming from a guy like my time when everything was black and white. So now that we're bombarded with inclusion, the while I was in, the ideal just hit me. Yo, I don't know where it came from, but it just hit me to basically get some understanding here about all these different sexual genders. And that's what gets it fried. You know what I'm saying? Comes in at.
All right. So can you tell the listeners when it's coming out, where they can get it from?
Oh, well, right now it's coming out the first quarter of next year. You know what I mean?
Right.
So after the new year, you'll be able to get it. You know, you'll be able to get it.
Where they gonna find it? Like, where would they find it?
Oh, you can find it on all platforms, Amazon, but mainly or at my company, BlackMobileInc.com.
All right.
Tap on to it. Well, Black Mobile Publishing. Black Mobile Inc. Publishing.com.
Right. Tune in, BlackMobileIncPublishing.com, man.
Yeah.
You know, man, we
also,
your wife got a pop.
Yeah, pardon me. Also, any brothers that's looking to have published material, books, scripts, we also assist with that also.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. I definitely know a few brothers that asked me that, so I'm gonna let them know. Reach out.
Yeah, we gonna help brothers put their content out behind the wall. Movie scripts, we shop them for you. You know, we like all purpose when it comes to this publishing game.
Yeah, that's good because it's this guy in this dorm with me, man. He wrote a book that, man, I read and I thought it was published already, man. No lie, but yeah, man, we you know, me and Pan of the Groove, man, we heard you and your wife got a podcast. How that's going?
Hustle and Love extended out of me and my wife's relationship. And what happened was, when I was doing the Queen Split thing and all the interviews, you know, it was like, y'all are characters in yourself. So what happened was, you know, I'm the hustler, and she's the Southern Belle, and we love each other, and we hustle together. So hustle and love. So what we do, we basically bring a non-traditional perspective to relationships. You feel me?
Right.
Because if you can hustle and love with your significant other, then how could you go wrong? How can you not be acceptable? And me and my wife been hustling and love from day one.
Right.
And we deal with all topics, man, addressing issues that others won't. We do interviews, you know. We had some classic interviews, you know, at the end of the day. But, you know, non-traditional, man. We deal with non-traditional vibes.
Right. And, I also saw that you was on Fox News, you know, Street Soldiers with Lisa Evers, man.
Yeah.
And you also did the morning news with Rosanna?
Yeah, with Rosanna, Laurie Scott and Rosanna, I forgot her name. But yeah, I was on there. I had the opportunity, based on the relationship I developed with Lisa Evers' boss, who's in charge of Fox News. He's the vice president. He liked my interview. He liked my demeanor. And he wanted to meet, and he loved Hustle and Love. And personally, he wanted to meet me. And then he asked me, how would I like to be on Good Morning New York?
Right.
I told him I would like it, and he made it happen. And voila, so be.
That was big.
Right.
You know, I mean, you see, that was big for us. That wasn't just for me. That was big to show how a brother can come home and transform, reform, right? And show these young brothers how to basically carry yourself on different platforms.
Right. Yo, so So, man, a lot of times the ladies feel like they left out, man. So we want to talk directly to the females that's in prison right now, man. What advice would you give a female who in prison right now, man, who want to hear, because, none of the lead females.
The same advice I would give to anyone that's in oppressive, conditions. Get your mind right, prepare and preparate for your return back to society.
That's right. Big homie, I have another question for you, big homie, because you did almost 30 years in prison, you know what I'm saying, throughout your life. And
I did over 30 years.
Over 30 years. And I appreciate that I stood in communication with you throughout the years.
Yeah.
You always send me pictures, you always send me emails, and how did you evolve? How you make it look so easy? Like, you looking good.
You have 1 minute left.
You looking 30 years old. Like, how you do it?
Man, I keep God first. I think positive, optimistically and not pessimistically. And I just take it a day at a time,
So, B, I have another question for you, because you was also in Southport for about 15 straight years.
No, I was 7 years in Southport.
How was that? How was you able to maintain your sanity? You know what I'm saying? Being in the SHU, special housing unit, for so many years.
Oh my God! So I still don't know to this day, but I was just building with my little homies yesterday about reaching the stage of insanity, which I found out insanity is when you get tired, and your mind or your brain tells your body that your present circumstances is not what it is. Meaning, a wall is there. Your brain is telling your mind there is no wall no more. And you keep bumping it, boom, boom, boom. Although it's a wall. But I believe that God had a bigger purpose for me. And he pulled me through that breaking point. And from that breaking point, it allowed me to begin to challenge myself. Everything I stood on then, everything I learned from individuals, and come to find out, a lot of that stuff was a bunch of garbage. So I emptied out my head of all of that, and I began to refill it with ideals, concepts, information, which allowed me to intuitively start to think from a right brain perspective. So that's where a lot of my stuff comes from. Like, I created my own thought. Like, I didn't let things take me from that point when I think. So when I think objectively and not subjectively, because everything in life has some type of correlation. So I thank God for that period in my life that allowed me to resurface back in society, transform, like from a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Right.
Where I can clearly see my vision.
That's right.
Maybe get a little too deep, but yeah. So that's where we at, bro.
That's right. So now, you know what I'm saying? Because I had the privilege and the honor to be around you in the streets and in prison. So it's like, and every time I've looked at you, I watch you, I learn from you, and I used to see you get up in the morning, read your Bible, do your exercise, and I'm like, damn, so B make this shit look so easy, like you definitely came a long way, man, because everybody that I came across know you, and I always tell you, like everywhere I've been, everybody know you.
Yeah.
You've been
I just, throughout my travels, man, whether in the can or in the land, I always, I guess, made lasting impressions upon individuals. You feel me? Through my ways, actions, and deeds. So I guess they just feel the honor to, I know him, Now, you feel me? And you was amongst me, so you know how I move. I move for the people, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Right.
Now, real quick, speaking of the peoples, man, what's up with your little homies, man? What's up with Poppy, and what's up with the brother Rod Diggs?
Oh, well, Diggs, we were just Diggs, they just sent him back to, they just sent him to another level. He got out of level 1 in ABX, but now he's back. Word is he was caught with a weapon for whatever reason, the circumstances. And Poppy is in Canaan.
Okay.
Poppy's in Canaan. He was out west for a minute, but he caused a little ride out there, and they shipped him back to the East Coast.
Okay, shout out to Poppy. That's little bro. That's my guy.
Though, so B, man. This Mr. Clean, man. I want to, ask you a question. For you being, around when on the East Coast when the homies first started over here, what had to be your mind frame at that time? Like, how you had to think when your cell opened every night or when your cell closed at night, you was by yourself. Like, what had to be your mind frame in order to survive through that time?
Oh, well, it's so crazy. I was just telling the brothers, the difference from then. At that point in time, the odds was against us, right? But the mindset was one of us, 10 of them, meaning that we discipline ourselves to the degree to be, like George did in his time. He was like, okay, you can fight, but are you prepared to fight against a rat pack, which is jumping? You see, so we prepared ourselves to be able to see, hit, and be gone. Read it, hit it, and be gone. You feel me? Like guerrilla warfare tactics. Like, that's what we use. We use guerrilla warfare tactics. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Sun Tzu, you read Sun Tzu, you read Art of War, just Beyond Deception. We use all the tactics that we use historically to win.
Oh, that's right. Now, Soul B, speaking of the West Coast, speaking of the East Coast, is it true we heard something like you was in tune, you was in touch with one of the West Coast homies?
Oh, yeah, I was in touch, may he rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? The Honorable Glorious T. Rogers from Black Keystone Bloods. Me and him formulated a very personal relationship when brothers got wind that, New York had popped off, their thing with this blood thing. But as I told T, and as I can see, I just told Wax, our thing was different from y'all thing. Our thing was more predicated like George when he created the Black Guerrilla family because we were in prison. Our enemies wasn't other blacks. Our enemies were those individuals who felt that they couldn't identify with their blackness.
Yeah, so B, man, what advice you got for somebody who's coming home or somebody who's already home?
Well, preparation number one, bro. If you get ready to come home, right? If you get ready to come home, hopefully you prepared yourself, meaning because it's like you have to be prepared for whatever presents itself to you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you just came out just to come out to work, you feel me? That might not materialize if you came out to be an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? So universally, you just have to prepare yourself, brother, for whatever's to come. Because it may not happen as you planned.
All right, man. Take care, man. We appreciate you for coming through.
All right, bro. Well, it's always,
Here I go.
always a blessing, and I'm here. You feel me?